Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm happy you're here. I am Serena Portal, and this is where we talk about energy alchemy. And what does that mean? It's where we take the raw material of our lives and transform it for the better with intention and attention. So today I want to talk about a topic from my own personal vault. This is something that I have spoken on at length in the past, and I felt like bringing it back. I didn't 100% plan what I'm going to say. So the topic is dismantling poverty vows. And the way this came up in my life a few years back was somehow I was thinking about poverty vows, which are, traditionally, if you join, say, a religious order, you take a vow of poverty, which means that you don't keep any money, you don't have any property, you are taken care of by the order wherever you're taking the vow, but you live incredibly simply, and money is just not really a part of your life, and service is what it's about. That can actually be a beautiful thing in some ways, because at that time, I think I also learned about different communities, excuse me, that had poverty vows, sorry, and a way of living communally that was not driven by money, was kind of a beautiful thing. But the way it manifests in our lives today usually is not such a beautiful thing. If you're watching this video, you probably live in a society where money is important. And most of us aren't joining religious orders where we're going to just be taken care of so we can serve and care for others. But we carry some of that residue, and it may be that in a past life at some point we took a poverty vow and it's still in our energetic field, or it's just really, really pervasive in our society, in our culture, that there is a lack mentality. And it comes a lot from some religious values, this idea that it's somehow unholy to have money, that it's better to be poor. And this has come about in a number of sneaky ways in our society and created a lot of lack for a lot of people where it doesn't have to be. Now, full disclosure, this is one of my life lessons. I work on it a lot, which is why I do feel somewhat qualified to talk about it. What ended up happening in the past was I brought up this idea that we carry poverty vows, whether it be from another lifetime or this lifetime, or just things that are ingrained in us, even just ideas that don't serve us in being abundant and attracting money and making money, like, oh, I'm not worthy, or rich people are all assholes. Simple stuff like that are things that we carry in our field, that we carry in our brains, that we carry in our heart sometimes. And there's a lot of manifestations of them. So those I also call poverty vows. If we want to create a more abundant life for ourselves, for our loved ones, for any number of people that might be suffering in the world, we have to get away from this lack mentality. So the idea being that when these thoughts come up in us that don't serve us, related to money, related to having property, related to being rich even, that it's important to really examine them and determine whether or not they serve us. And, totally up to you. Some of these things that come up in your life, you may decide they serve you, and that's 100% okay. but there's a lot of them that really don't serve. And it's good to notice that. And there was something about this phrase, dismantling poverty vows, when it came to me that just resonated, that we want to release this idea of a vow of poverty. And it resonated with a lot of other folks at the time too. This was a couple years back. So I did actually do an entire class, I call it a class experience, on this topic, where I talk about some basic abundance ideas that you may or may not have heard, and then go into a number of traditional poverty vows, current poverty vows that we might keep, and some poverty vows for the world at large that we might want to dismantle. Now, this was a few years ago. Things have gotten even crazier since then. So I think this important work is really good to be doing right now. And I bring this up so that you can be thinking about it. So that as you're going through your day, when you notice you're thinking something that is a poverty or a lack mentality kind of thing, you can reframe it. You know, like, oh, I can't afford that, or might be something you would say. And maybe is that even true? Like, maybe you can afford it, but maybe you're choosing not to right now because you have a larger goal in mind. You know, like reframing this stuff as much as it comes up, or, you know, I'm not deserving, or I'm being spoiled. That was a big one in my world today. I don't really like when people talk about spoiling anyone or being spoiled. Sometimes it can be cute, but really it's this idea that getting what we want or having an abundance of whatever is pleasurable to us is somehow bad for us. And I really don't think that's the case. I think more often than not, when people have behaviors that are unhelpful or somehow cringe, it's not because they've been given what they want. It's usually because certain basic needs have not been met. And sometimes, you know, you get what you want physically, but you're not getting your heart needs met. You're not getting attention. You're not getting love. And I think that's when we spoil. But I still don't like that word. So just a reminder here to be on the lookout for these sorts of ideas as they come in your life. And ways that you can dismantle them yourself. Like, rich people are assholes. Well, sure, some people are. Some rich people are. Some poor people are assholes. Some middle class people are assholes. You know, there's so many people who have a lot of money that are actually incredibly generous, incredibly giving, and really not assholes. So just like really examining that. I strongly invite you to do that in your daily life. If some come up for you as you're thinking about this, feel free to put them in the comments. I think the more that we're aware of this kind of thinking, the better it is for all of us, so that we can kind of root it out. And it's a daily practice. I did end up, like I said, doing a class experience on this a few years ago, and I do still have the recording. So I've decided to make that available again. It's a low cost of $21 if you decide you would want some help with dismantling the poverty vows. And we go through, like I said, some of the information. We go through a number of poverty vows, and in the training we actually reframe them and say the words that we want to say for creating abundance, for creating prosperity, and for doing that not just for us, but along the global lines, so that we can all prosper. Another one that I do talk about in the training that I feel drawn to bring up right now is this idea that so many of us have, that abundance or money is limited, that it's a pie, and if you take a piece, you're taking some away from someone else. That's not actually how it works. Money is an idea. Resources are an idea. It's something that we give value to. It's something we all made up that we're participating in together. And I mean, is it equitable at this time? When you look at it from the eyes of social justice, no. But from the eyes of spiritual justice, from the eyes of the law of attraction, we all do have the ability to create what we want. We are all equal in that way. We don't all have the same conditioning, which makes it easier for us to create money if we want to. I think, like, someone like Paris Hilton grew up with money all around her, and it was easy for her to make the leap to, I can make millions of dollars, because that was already her set point. That was already in her field. I look at Beyonce and Jay-Z and their kids, and how already Blue Ivy is being brought into the family business. And it's going to be pretty easy for her to make a shit ton of money. Like, let's be real. I mean, I believe she probably will. There's a chance she might not. But that's because those people have a different set point. And those of us who didn't come in that way and who might have these poverty vows attached to us, we've got to work on our set point if we want to create more for ourselves. And if we want more that we can share with people. It's so, so, so important that we change this idea, and that when we take our piece of the pie, that's not how it goes. We're not taking away from anyone else. It's more like, if you think about health and wellness, when you have a sickness, do you ever begrudge yourself wellness because you might be taking it away from someone else? No. There's unlimited amounts of wellness. We can all be well at the same time. We can all be prosperous at the same time. It's so true. But it's the conditioning that we carry from our early life, our childhood, maybe past lives, whatever we've experienced since, that creates the set point for us on what we are willing to receive. So we want to work on changing that set point if we're not happy with what we're receiving, if we would like to receive more, to believe in our consciousness, to create assumptions that we can have more, and that it can be easy, that it can be pleasurable, that it can be joyful. That's one of the poverty vows I was so raised on, was you can make money, but you're gonna hate it. Like, that was definitely in my family big time, especially from my mom. And that's something I still have to root out. So if you decide to purchase the course, the Dismantling Poverty Vows, you can listen to it as many times as you want. It's a 90-minute class. If you listen to it once, will you get results? Maybe. It depends on your conditioning and what you really take to heart. But I do believe that if you listen repeatedly, or you use that or other tools, that's going to be more beneficial to you. Because if there's something that's going on in your reality that you're not enjoying, you've got a groove going, you've got an assumption, and there is going to be some mental, emotional, spiritual work to change that groove. So this could be a tool for you if you're drawn to it. I would love you to take advantage of it. If you're in my Energy Alchemy Sacred Community, I'm going to be uploading it for free to all members. If you're interested in being in the Energy Alchemy Sacred Community, you can get into that for as little as $33 a month. And you also get 2 group sessions throughout the month, each month with me, and you can ask questions in our Facebook group, and you get discounts if you want to do individual sessions with me. So I highly recommend that. It's such a good deal right now. What is today? Today is March 2nd. I don't know if I'm going to keep that pricing that low. So, and I'm not doing that to try and pressure or do some weird marketing tactic. I just do think about it all the time. I'm like, is that price too low? Does that price work for me? It is that price for now. Just know that it could change in the future. And I think that's what I have to say about this topic today. I'm at about 15 minutes here. Let me see if there's anything else that wants to come. Just that I wish anyone here all prosperity, all abundance, that you can be overflowing, that you can take care of yourself, your family, that you can have resources to enjoy your life and to share and to be very generous and to notice all the good that's around you. whatever good you have, even if it doesn't feel like it's enough or it's a lot, notice what good you have. I got free soup today from one of my neighbors who was very generous, and I'm stoked about that. That's just a little example, but I can even feel how my energy lifted when I said that, because it makes me really happy. So look for those things. Yes, please, thank you, and more. I'm happy with what I have, and I look forward to more. This is the path to expansion. And I'm on it too. I'm on it too. So we're doing this together. I do also offer one-on-one coaching. There'll be links in the description. And I think that's all I'm going to say for now. If you want to be on my mailing list too, feel free to sign up for that at my website, serenaportal.com. All right. You all have the best day, best evening, whatever, wherever it is, what time it is where you're listening to this. And know that there is enough. There's always enough for all of us. And you are the operant power in your life. So you get to decide. Much love.